Do you like how I keep flipping the phone to show different angles? This is part 3 because unfortunately I can't make long in-depth videos anymore, which is fine because hopefully this will make my average view duration higher. I know, it definitely won't change it. Can't tell if you can even see me, the light is blinding me. It's also unfortunate that somehow I can remember being an infant. Just stop. This angle does not look good. Now when I think back on the log cabin in the woods, puts a pit in my stomach. I don't really want to think about that as my reality. Don't want to have to acknowledge that that was what the entire existence of me was. Extracted out of. I guess my mom stopped loving my dad after my brother. After she got pregnant with him. And as a baby, I could sense something wasn't right. I don't remember their conversations, but I have dreams about the house we were living in. And that was actually, ironically, as I've said before, my dad's mom's house, so I'm able to actually picture it a lot easier because I've been there so many times with a more developed brain. Most dreams that I have there are really weird though. What is on my nose? My mom recently told me that she, lost all respect for my dad and blamed him for my brother. but I guess she didn't know how to raise us alone. Don't know why she wouldn't just bring us to live with my grandparents. Probably because, I mean, they would have loved it. Maybe that's the only reason why she didn't. Why does life have to be so messed up? Literally, I don't know if, well, postpartum stuff is obviously real because of how much your body goes through. But if you had a supporting husband or group of people there for you, I think it would go by a lot smoother. They're still doing construction on my apartment. Literally right next to a wall that I'm living in, of course. So, sometimes I look at life and everything I always wanted and everything that I got. Even when I first started dating in high school, I remember texting something like, I could have been the perfect girl, but there just had to be something wrong with me. Don't know. Maybe I don't know if I texted that. But I remember having to do with something on my phone. One time I told my mom that I don't cry because I want to, I cry because I feel bad for myself. Then like a little while later, like a few days, she was saying something judgmental about someone else who was crying, and she said like, I don't know, something about feeling bad for yourself. We were like riding to her from the grocery store, I think. I always had a really hard time getting out of my head when I was younger from what my parents told me. Like my dad said, you need to get out of your head. But he never told me why. I asked him why and he said bad things will happen or something. Did bad things happen? I realized yesterday, if a girl dresses in a way that's asking for attention, it's because, well, she does it often. Most likely comes from a lack of attention when she was a child that she has to constantly make up for the rest of her life. Lack of positive attention anyway. You can't blame a person for that. Everyone just wants to be loved, and some people don't have the skills or understanding of how to be in a relationship with a good person. Because they don't know what they're worth. Since their parents basically told them and showed them what they were worth as a child and every action they made toward them. And if it wasn't anything valuable, the little kid's gonna think that all they deserve is what their parents gave them. That's why some people with parents who give them everything that they ever need, they end up not handling situations well when they don't get everything they need from someone. Because they're expecting it, since that's what they believe they deserve, because that's what their parents gave them. And I realized the only way out is to just cut ties with my parents. I know that's probably not the best strategy, but just in my mind, years ago I had to decide to just stop thinking about them, because it just hurt me and stressed me out too much to do that. But that also means you can't have a relationship with them if you're not thinking of them. I mean, for my entire childhood, I convinced myself that I understood why they did what they did, and that I knew who they were, and I just wasn't mad at them for it. Because I felt like good people were understanding, and I just couldn't bring myself to see it any other way. But at the same time, I also had to debate whether or not what they did was the right thing in every case scenario, or if maybe they could have done something differently or better. Because sometimes it would lead me to believe or think that what they did had ulterior motives behind it that were for the better of me in some kind of weird, diluted way. Until I realized that was literally just me trying to accept it and become okay with it. So that I didn't fill my head with despair, hopelessness. And I notice how people always feel bad, or not even feel bad, but whatever they think or feel, or nothing. For people who are addicted to things, like people with any sort of addiction, because their childhoods were messed up. What about the people who can't even become addicted or use a substance to calm down because of just the amount of intricate ways that the brain was developed by their experiences and genetics? To where they are uncomfortable with the very stuff that's supposed to help them. Is that a good thing? Probably. I wouldn't want to be addicted to something, but at the same time, just sober stress isn't healthy either. Stress is probably worse than any drug. It's a lifelong killer. And as a child, I went through unbelievable amounts of stress on my body, where it resulted in physical pain from the inside out. So it definitely was a testament to how much the human body can take. But now as I get older, I realize my body's not going to be working as well as it was when I was younger. And that stuff's probably going to impact my health overall and longevity. And I don't think that's just something imaginary to say. I always thought it was something wrong with my brain that made me have those extreme floods of stress, but could have been some kind of other hormone or gland, I don't know. I always tried going to the doctor, but when you're a kid, they don't really even listen to you. I don't think doctors really listen half the time. It takes a really good doctor to actually listen to you. It takes a really good person. Maybe that's all you need is just not even a doctor, not even external help, like employment-wise or professional-wise. Just somebody to listen to. Because in those moments when I was feeling very unwell, I felt that I could not be near my mother. Anytime she came near me, I would get more sick. And I ultimately would just have to deal with it alone. Thinking about how I was acting now. If a young child is curled up in a ball on the floor in the parents' bedroom, and they're shaking and moaning, pain, and their heads down at their knees, and if their mom is just repeating, do you want to go to the hospital? Do you want to go to the hospital? And if I was that little girl again, I'd probably get up and start screaming at her. Like, obviously I don't want to go to the hospital, but you're my mom. You're supposed to bring me there if I'm having issues like that. I just wanted my mom to be someone I could confide in. Someone that I could feel comforted by. But she was the opposite. Still don't understand how that happened. Don't understand what my parents were thinking or who they even are. I don't understand how they couldn't know what I needed. I just needed someone to love me. And make me feel like everything was gonna be alright. And feel like someone was gonna take care of me. Not just ask me questions. Most stupid questions. Because then later on, when I had a best friend in middle school, anytime I would start having those anxiety issues, she would ask me if I'm okay. And she would keep repeating it, and it annoyed me, and I didn't know why. She said, obviously I'm not okay. and she just had to go home because I started to feel really unwell. Probably because it was the same reminder of what my mom did to me when I was like that. Just asking questions that shows me everything I need to know. And I'm not even gonna try to be understanding anymore, because I'm not. I've done that long enough. My mom should have been better, because I spent my entire life believing there was something wrong with me. And anytime I would start feeling any sort of way that wasn't what I thought was normal, it would spiral into me ruining every relationship and friendship I had. And it set me on the road to just all anyone could see me as was someone who was fun to see spinning around in circles. Didn't want to be that though. Not really. I wanted to be someone that somebody loved, but not something that someone liked looking at. I think I've been avoiding and evading my past for a while. Definitely was not able to see straight. Basically just walking dizzy through life. Getting spun around by the next person and the next person. It's like I was dreaming or sleeping. Never felt like I had the strength to open my eyelids. Reality became just as bad as the dreams I was having. That's why, if we make reality a better place, we wouldn't be forcing people to fall asleep their whole lives. Drug addictions would not exist if reality was a better place to live in. People have to stop lying to themselves. Sometimes I don't even know how to stop doing it. I know if I ever got big on YouTube, this is doubt talking, there's a chance I would use that power to do something that I don't think anyone else would think of. thank you to everyone for watching my video. This one's gonna end soon. There's something I wanted to say. There used to be 3 raspberry bushes at my old house, and I was the only one who picked raspberries off of them and froze them and ate them. My grandpa planted them for us, I think.